What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can automate resource sharing and team training session scheduling using make.com. Let's get started. On monday.com, I've created a board and renamed it to team members. Here we are collecting their full name. I'm assigning them to myself. So because I'm the one who's managing them, I'm collecting the data I created them. Last time I updated them, their status. And on their status, I have intake, onboard, send contract, and send training doc as the status of each of my team members. I'm also collecting their first name, last name, the company, their email, and their phone number. On Make, I'll create a webhook that is triggered after the status of one of my team members that I would like to train changes to send training doc. So here, I'll search for webhook and click on webhooks. And here, I'll click on custom webhook. Here, I'll click on add. Then I'll rename my webhook to team member training session. And then here, I'll click on save. Here, I'll copy the link of this webhook and then click on OK. And then on Monday, I'll click on integrate. I'll click on webhooks. And I'd like to send a webhook after the status of one of my team members changes to send training documents. So here, I'll use this as our template. Here, I'll choose another account, paste the webhook URL that we copied on Make over here. Here, on Make, I'll run our webhook. And then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Here you can see it says fail to communicate with the URL provided. So here, we'll need to return these text using a webhook response. So here, I'll search for webhooks, then click on webhook response. Here we'll try to return these text. So here I took all the braces. And here I'll write challenge. And add the text over here. And click on OK. And then I'll run our webhook again. And then on Monday, I'll click on connect. You can see that it ran successfully. So here I'll delete our webhook response. And then on Monday, I'll set up our webhook. So we would like to send our webhook after the status of one of our team members changes to send training document. And then here, I'll click on create automation. Now, let us test if our webhook works properly. So I'll run our webhook again. And then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our team members to intake. Then I'll change status of our team members to send training doc. You can see that it ran successfully. We are getting the member whose status we just changed. Now to get the rest of the data, I'll copy the pulse ID. And then here, I'll search for Monday. And then I'll search for get an item module. And click on get an item. Choose my connection. Then for the ID, I'm going to choose pulse ID. Then for the board ID, I'm going to search for team members. And click on team members. Then click on OK. Now to get the rest of their data, here, I'll run this module only and paste the pulse ID that we copied from our webhook over here and click on OK. Now here, you can see that we're getting the rest of their data here. So we're getting their first name, last name, company name, email, and their phone number. Now with their details right here, we can now get our training material document from Google Drive and then send it to our team member. On Google Docs, I've created a training material for a team member. So here we have the introduction, the company overview, understanding automation processes, and then I'm outlining all the automation processes that we set up for clients. Also tools and software that we use. Here I'm highlighting the tools and software that we use, the client onboarding process. Here I'm outlining to the team member how we onboard clients. I'm also outlining the case studies and examples, and feedback and continuous improvement, and then resources and references, and lastly, I'm outlining the conclusion. So this could be the example of training material document that I would like to send to our team member. On Make, I'm going to get our document from Google Drive. So I'll search for Google Drive. And then here, I'm going to search for our document. I'm going to select from the list. Then I'll choose our folder. So the training material document is in our employee document folder on our Google Drive. So on Make, I'll search for the folder right here. It's employee documents. Then here, I'll retrieve files and folders. Then here, I like to perform a full text search. Then here, I can add the name of the document that we are sending to our team member. In our case, our document is called training material for large automation. And then here we can limit it to 1, and then click on OK. So here, I'll run this module to see if we're going to get our document. And you can see we're getting our document here. So here, I'll rename this module to get training material. Then click on OK. Now, on our training material, you can go ahead and customize it in depth. So here you can add links to your website, links to videos on your YouTube channel, links to previous work that you've done. Here, this is just an overview of the training materials that we'd like to send to our employee. After we've gotten our document, here, I'm going to create a shareable link so we can send it to our employee. So on Google Drive, I'll search for get a share link module. And then here, I'll add the file ID from the get training material module. Then here for the role, you can either choose owner, writer, commenter, or reader. I'm going to leave it as reader. And then for the type, I'm going to choose anyone with a link and then click on OK. So here, I'll rename this to training material link. And then click on OK. Now, after getting our training material and creating the link of the training material, we can choose to create a meeting for the training session with our team member. You can do it manually or automate the process on this automation. Now, to automate the process, here, I'm going to search for Google Meets, since I like the meeting to happen on Google Meet. And here, I'm going to create a meeting. And here, I'm going to choose my calendar. Then I'm going to give a name for our event. So, yeah, I'm going to name our event to training session. Then here we can add the start date. So we can say maybe the meeting is on Friday at 3 p.m. and the meeting will end on Friday at 4 p.m. And then here you can choose to send notifications about the event creation to either all guests, to non-Google Calendar guests, or to none. So here I'll just say to all guests, and then you can add the reminders right here. So here you can choose an email. You can add the minutes depending on the day you like to remind your team member for the training. You can choose to convert these into days and see how many days there are. So if you like to remind them after 1 day, you can choose to convert 24 hours into minutes and then add the number over here. I'm going to use this as our example and click on OK. Now here, we can choose to send the team member the training materials and the meetings link via email. Here, I'll add another module and I'll search for email and click on send an email. Now, for the email address, we're going to add the email address of our team member. So our team member, we're going to source them from Monday. So I'm going to add the email address over here. And then the subject line of the email could be in the lines of training session resources and Google Meet link. And then for the content of the email, you can say hi first name, where the first name we're going to get it from Monday. And then on the email, we can say, I'm reaching out to share the resource documents for our upcoming training session. This document will cover key areas like automation processes, tools, best practices. So please review them before our first session. And then here we can add the resource documents link, which we're going to get it from the get a share link module, where we're going to add the share link over here. And then the rest of the email could be in the lines of, we'll be meeting on Google Meet, and here's a link for a session. We can run this module only and see if we created our session. So you can see we created our session right here, and we have the link that we're going to share with our team member. So the meeting starts at 3 p.m. and ends at 4 p.m. And then this is the link that they're going to use. We can unlink this, then we link it again. So we can get the link. And now we can see the link of our meeting right here. So here we're going to add this link over here. And then we can conclude our email by saying, I'm looking forward to diving into this together and seeing all the new skills we can develop. If you have any questions about the materials or need help accessing them, feel free to reach out. Thanks, Dennis. Then I'm going to click on OK. Here we can rename this email to send training material, then click on OK. To test if automation works, here, I'll run our automation. Then on Monday, I'm going to change the status of one of our team member to send training doc. And you can see that automation ran successfully. So we triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our team members' status to send training document. Then we got their data right here. We got the training material on our Google Drive folder. And then we created a shareable link for the document. And then we created the meeting and sent the team member the training materials and the link they'll use to join the meeting via this email right here. Now, the email has a subject line training session resources and Google Meet link. And here is the content of the email that we are sending to our team member. So we are sending them the resource document link, which is this link right here. And we're also sending them the Google Meet link, which is this link right here. This is a simple automation that you can set up right now to automate resource sharing with your team members and also automate the scheduling of training sessions with your team members. If you have an automation or a system in mind that you'd like for me to create, just comment down below in the comment section. I'll read all the comments, and if I land on your comment and find it intriguing, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create the entire automation or system from scratch. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.